Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. I'll be completely honest, I did technically do this already, but I just got so frustrated with it, so I'm just gonna throw this out there. This figure already gets minus points just because the legs were so janky on it. I actually had to fix it to be able to get it to just work properly. Like, it would not bend the legs at all, let alone actually pose well. So yeah, that's something to note, but we'll get into the rest of that when we, go to look at the figure a bit more. Just know that, along with the idea that, if there's any background noise, just throwing it out there. My girlfriend's off in the background just kind of fucking with shit. We are still kind of getting stuff set up here, and yeah, I can't really explain it too much well. All I can really say is we are in the new apartment. We've got the arena all set up. It's pretty much looking exactly the same. The crowd may not be exactly where it was before, but just to kind of, maybe got a little teaser there if you were paying attention, but just got a little area there off side of the crowd. Sometimes I use it as kind of like a little backstage area, but hopefully I won't have to do that for too long. Just got to get my table from the attic, and hopefully we can build a backstage area maybe. But, less on that. We've got the Elite 112 Ricochet in hand. Let's get into these accessories. Of course, he comes with two sets of hands. We've got the mic holding hands, weapon holding hands, whatever hands. And then we've got the updated, more normal looking, choppy, Kawhi Leonard shaking, or whatever the hell MDT calls it, hands. Looking really nice too. Not too bad. You've got this nice jacket accessory that I've noticed MDT uses on the Ultimate Kenny Omega Comic-Con exclusive a lot. Got the little Ricochet logo here on the back. All nice. I do love the color scheme here, though I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be themed for. I could see maybe Optimus Prime. I don't know. It could have also just been a USA color gear. I don't know. Former U.S. champion anyways, could potentially be a contender for the DDW United States champion, but that's besides the point. Let's get into this figure for a minute. We've, got the Johnny Gargano syndrome, as everybody calls it. I don't know why they choose to use this lower kick pad mold, but honestly it doesn't bug me too much on this Ricochet. I think they actually kind of did the lower kick pads justice here for once. Don't get me wrong, I still don't like it, especially if they're technically supposed to be up here under the knee pads, but I don't know, to me I feel like it wasn't. Maybe I'll have to go and watch the match back and see if it's actually somewhat accurate to how he wore the gear, but yeah. Of course, one of my main gripes with this, we've got the chipping here and the red paint smudges all around on the upper legs area nearby the crotch piece, and to be honest, that's definitely not my favorite. Speaking of not my favorite, definitely not my favorite to hear ads, but sadly, don't have my TV up, so sorry if you hear an ad playing while I'm listening to music. So, of course, you've got the Ricochet logo on the front and the back of the crotch piece. All nice, decked out with red, white, and blue. Got the long wrist tape over on the left arm, and you've got the short wrist tape on the tattooed right arm, showing off all of his tattoo work. Nothing really on the back. He does come with a nice little gold chain here, something you may have noticed Ricochet has been wearing a lot. And of course I would go into action figure posing, how does the posability go, but if I'm gonna be honest, every Mattel figure is the same. If you're not used to it, only thing you really need to be updated on is the fact that he is double jointed. So, you know, at least we did get a Ricochet with double jointed arms and stuff before he left the company. Kind of sad to see him leave the company, but at least he's putting on some decent matches in AEW right now. Hopefully they'll actually use him in a pretty good like storyline and not just have him fight in one good match with Will Ospreay, have a couple of bangers here and there, but then they just kind of relegate him like WWE did in the mid-card, or just off TV, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how long he signed for. Who knows if he's gonna go up here for New Japan, for TNA, for wherever. But at the same time, we also know that if he does go to TNA, good chance he could just pop back up at WWE unless he just says nah himself. But why don't we get this figure all posed up and we can talk a bit more about stuff like that, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we've got Ricochet all posed up here on Brett's row, I can definitely say after fixing his legs, I'm definitely way more happy with this figure. But at the end of the day, I had to do that manually myself, just like with Solo Sikoa, just like with a few other figures I've had as of late, which is kind of a sad problem to see that Mattel's been having recently. And I'm sure it comes with the fact that they've been trying to give us pinless legs, which realistically is the funny factor because this Ricochet is on pinless legs. Let's just take a quick gander. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a pin in there. Anywho, it probably comes with that ideal and the fact that they've been using probably different crotch pieces and shit for certain molds, and who knows exactly what it could be. I know he is on ball joints, which is weird to think though, because this is probably partially the issue, is the fact that the new ball joints kind of look like the Acorn joints anyway. So who knows exactly what kind of joint you're getting until you take the leg off. But trust me, you'll know if you can't take the leg off or not, just because of the simple fact that if you do take the leg off, well, it probably won't go back on properly. I'm not exactly too sure. I just know when it comes to breaking down the legs for that, it's tricky. It really is. Probably why I haven't continued my Drew McIntyre custom yet, because it's a lot of work. It really is, and I'm going to have to sit there and take a nice tiny knife and try to hope that I can crack not just the torso but the legs just to get the Drew custom to look the way I want it to. Anywho, with all that being said, what would I have to rank this figure on a scale of 1 to 10? Honestly, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm still gonna give this figure an indefinite. Well, I said 5 in the original review. I'll be honest. I'll bump him up a point. He'll be at 6 now that the legs are fixed. But the original rating was 5 out of 10. Bumping it up to 6 out of 10. And honestly, when it comes to the Dave Meltzer star rating, the 1 to 5 stars, the 1 to Young Buck match, what would I rank him? Well, if we're going based off the original, I actually said 2. I'll bump him up to a good 3. He's not a bad figure. He's really good. I'd say he's pretty solid posability-wise. He poses about just as well as any other figure, realistically. Sorry for my little tongue twister there, I guess. Couldn't fucking speak for a moment. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's definitely not perfect on my end. You've got the paint scuffs, including the one there on the boot. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. And that plus the effed up legs. I don't know why I said effed up. I'm not afraid to curse on here. Plus the fucked up legs. Just not a great combo. It's never a great combo when you have to keep fixing your figure like that. Like I said, I had to do it with Solo. And I've had to do it with quite a few other figures I've had recently. I just can't exactly recall which ones off the top of my head, but I'm sure if you go check out some of my other action figure content, you definitely know. Which, speaking of that, because we're at the 10-minute line, if you liked the video, feel free to like the video. If you did not, well, womp womp, I guess. But if you did like the video, feel free to check out some of my other action figure content, such as, you know, figure reviews. We've got unboxing videos. We've got pick fed content. And, well, I did mention that earlier, so definitely recommend checking out the pick fed if you guys would like to. Me and my boy Tyler, all I can say is we're trying to cook up something here, especially for Legends Night, which is the following episode, and then up next after that we have Damn Defiant Wrestling presents Ladder War. Sure, you guys have seen the little like teaser promo video I made for it, because I'm super excited to do a ladder like themed pay-per-view. Though not every match may be ladder themed, I'm sure every match will probably use a little bit of ladders one way or another, and that's my way of not just paying a little homage to the IC Championship ladder match that in pick fed time would have only happened a few months prior, but it gives me a reason to try to save on the ladder match concept for later pay-per-views and stuff of that nature, so I don't try to overdo the ladder match too much. Because I can't lie, I'm sure I'll get a little stipulation happy with some pay-per-views, especially the pay-per-view that comes after that, which is Armageddon. So, you know, just keep a close eye out on stuff like that, I guess. And if you would like to, also feel free to follow me on Instagram. And if you would like to, feel free to follow me. Follow me. Maybe feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe. You could say follow too. Whatever the case may be, I don't know. It's just kind of whatever. Oh, you know, one thing I didn't mention. I want to say this is a new Ricochet head scan too. But if it's not, whatever, I don't know. I don't think it looks like the one I have on my other Ricochet, which I didn't do a figure comparison with, because if I'm gonna be honest, I don't realistically know where it is at the moment. It's somewhere in one of my two totes. So, yeah, if anything, I'm lucky I've got the arena all set up right now, and, you know, I will say this now. I'll thank my girlfriend on that, too, because she did kind of help me do half of this. She did this half. And she got all the way up to the turnbuckle post, and she said, nah, I'm not doing all that shit and fucking it up. She said, your tall ass can do it. So, thank you to her again anyways. I guess we can kind of get signed off on this one. So, have a good rest of your night, day, evening, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your damn time zone. But if I were, where would I be? That's a little interesting question, I guess. Do I want to know, though? Probably not. Could live in Chicago, maybe. As long as it's not Chirac, we're good. Anywho, all I can say is deuces, oozes, yeet. Oh, damn, he went flying.